Might be.
It is
All
live
right.
now. Finally,
Hey,
we got it.
everybody. We're live. We're live. Welcome, everybody. Forgive the delays. This is my first time working with this technology, the Google Hangout here, Webinar Jam, and all this stuff. So we had a couple of minor last-second delays, so my apologies. Glad you can make it tonight. Again, this is Rick Thompson, your host. Got a lot of great things lined up for you tonight. First things first, let me know who you are if you don't mind. Type in your name and where you're from and what you do here in the chat box. And that will also give us a quick tech check to make sure that it actually is working, which would be a great thing. I'm here on the East Coast, Lynn's on the West Coast, and again, for those of you just joining us, my apologies. I'm a brand new guy here to this technology. I don't do video too often. I know you can hear my voice, but you can see my face here with the video. My apologies on that. So go ahead, guys. Give me a quick shout out. Let me know who you are. Type in your name, where you're coming in from, and what you do. That'd be great. All right, fantastic. Hey, Denise, welcome, welcome. Got folks tapping in from everywhere. Very exciting stuff. Great. Oh yeah, lots of attendees popping in according to the system. So fantastic. Thanks, guys. Appreciate Marianne from Rhode Island. Fantastic. Welcome, welcome. A lot of folks popping in here. Oh, this is exciting. This is great. All right. So we'll give it just another minute here. We'll make sure this is working for everybody. And then we'll go ahead and get this thing rocking. There's Al from San Diego. Fantastic. Thanks, everybody. I appreciate that. That gives me some confidence here that the tech systems are working properly for you guys. That's a big win just to start the call off with. And all right. Well, welcome, everybody. Thanks so much. Lynn, from your side, tech stuff rocking and rolling. Should we go ahead and kick this thing off?
Well, let's connect with those. We're going to rely on you viewers. This is going to be interactive throughout, by the way. But please do let us know if you see something occurring. Our tech team right here just said you're getting a loop. So what do you mean by getting a loop? Oh, it's okay now. Never mind. So it looks like we're all steam ahead, full steam ahead. Awesome.
Fantastic. We've got some folks here from Toronto and Las Vegas and Salt Lake City. Welcome, everybody. Glad you guys can make it. Sue Marie, Leadership and Life Mastery in BC. Greg Cook, Idaho, independent analyst, writer, speaker, consultant. Hey. Sharina from Atlanta, Georgia. Hotlanta is represented. All right. With the youth organization. All right, let's kick this off, guys. You guys have waited long enough, and we've had some minor delays here from the beginning. Very excited to get going here, so let's go ahead and get started. By the way, this chat window on the right, as we go through the session tonight, Lynn's got a lot to cover, but if you have questions, put them in the chat window, and either they'll get answered as she goes through or at the very end, okay? So make use of the chat window. If you've got a question, go ahead and pop it in there. Just be aware that it might be until the end of the call that Lynn can get back to it because she's got a lot of stuff to go ahead and dive into. And obviously, if you don't already, make sure you've got some note-taking materials, and let's go ahead and kick into this, because this is going to be so fun. So here we go. I think the best place to start with this is, well, the simple fact that you're listening to this right now demonstrates that you care about getting yourself and your message or your product or your service out there to the world in the biggest, most efficient, and effective way. And that makes lasting impact and, well, let's be honest, creates lasting income, right? If that's you, go ahead and type yes in the chat box. Fantastic. Thanks, everybody. All right. Getting me excited here. So a lot of folks in the right place here. Now, Lynn Rose, you may or possibly may not have heard of her. Perhaps you saw her on any number of shows she's done through the years on CBS, Fox, E! Channel, and more. Or perhaps you've heard of her when she's had a syndicated radio show around the country working with the greats in personal development. I can certainly guarantee that if you've been to any of the big entrepreneur events out there, from Harbecker and Peak Potentials to Mark Victor Hansen to eWomen Network to Master TV and a ton of others, you've seen her in action. And if you've worked with her, you know her heart and her passion and commitment to immense talent and brilliance with what she does and how phenomenally she's helped people. Millions, I mean millions around the world, have seen Lynn on various programs, online, live, or on TV, sharing her messages or her inspirational performing what many don't know is that she actually is the secret sauce for so many of our famous thought leaders. Now, when I learned this personally, I thought to myself, really? I had no idea. So I dug deeper. I looked closer, and I saw, wow, she is providing a game-changing service for entrepreneurs and companies. This is the missing link for them. I saw that she helped take folks who had a seedling of an idea and help them create into a full-blown business and brand, and get it messaged, get materials created, so that they went from housewife to 6 figures in months, from struggling coach to best-selling author, and #1 selling with Mindvalley's programs. She's helped entrepreneurs like you fill up their coaching programs right away after it had taken them months and years of struggle before. The work that she's done for clients has been the key for getting them on NBC, CBS, Fox. She's gotten her clients speakings, bookings, and sponsors and bulk orders for their books, all because of following Lynn's brilliant Launch You Now, Done For You process. Now, wouldn't that be great if you got to launch from where you are right now to having that kind of success? That's awesome, isn't it? Imagine knowing you have your message clear, crystal clear, before moving forward. It's incredible, right? Just kind of picture that for yourself. It just lights you up to think what that must feel like, right? So I saw all that, and I wondered, how is she doing that? How is she doing that? And I know that success leaves clues. Obviously, she's tapped into fixing the gaps that I see so many entrepreneurs making, and I wanted to get her here with you so that she can reveal step by step exactly what she does within her Launch You Now process, and see what it is that you can do so you can create that level of success and stop wasting time and missing so many opportunities if you're only set up in the way that you need to be, as she'll be showing you here tonight in the call. So I tried to plan this training for you, but she's been so busy traveling all over the world, performing and speaking and doing media, or even just having gotten back from her exclusive high-end mastermind with the greats of the greats, from Mike Koenigs to Mike Filsaime to Glenn and Natalie of Mind Movies to Brian Tracy and Sonia Riccati and Jennifer McLean and Telman Knutson and so many more, so that she can all the better serve her clients. Not to mention the passionate, immense amount of personal time she puts into working for her clients. She's so busy and she's so in demand that we actually had to reschedule a few times, maybe more than a few times, what we planned to bring you until finally tonight. We're so fortunate because Lynn will be sharing her Launch You Now services secrets with us, and lending us her brain also is that secret sauce who's hired to private coach for the famous top experts who make millions in our industry, from Ariel Ford to Catherine Thomas and other CEOs. She's their secret sauce, although since I just told you all that and she's here with us tonight, I guess maybe not so secret anymore. She doesn't often give this kind of training for solopreneurs and entrepreneurs, or whomever is wanting to expand and explode their business and brand. So as you listen and watch and absorb this plethora of information, examples and step-by-step she's going to give you tonight, be thinking in every moment, how might I apply this immediately to affect a change in my business? What can I do right now? What leap can I take so I can get to that next level now? Lock the door to your office, get a babysitter for your kids, or have them watch a DVD, close all your other browser windows, get some beverage ready. I've got my water right here. I've got some ready to take notes. I've got my pen and paper to take some notes. There's only one thing that I really know here is that, especially entrepreneurs, we tend to have ADD, right? We get distracted so easily. It's so hard to stay focused, isn't it? But as I looked over all that Lynn does for the entrepreneurs that I serve, and have had as part of my community for years, I knew, wow, how awesome will this be for my folks? And no one else is doing this. And she's doing it in a way that is made accessible for entrepreneurs. It's perfect. Now, I've seen how she turns a room at an event that might be scattered and low energy and have everyone on feet, on fire, inspired, and ready to take action. The famous experts that we know and love clamor to have her come in to wake up and energize their events. Audiences consistently are blown away by her presence and her heart, her brilliant laser coaching, her step-by-step information, and her offer. You see, folks find a way to work with her because of how life-changing this is. They stretch. They immediately get what can happen for them, and they make it happen. I've even heard through the grapevine about how, though she's worked with launched into six-figure businesses, best-selling authors, placed on NBC and other networks, and became known as the go-to expert in their field. You will not believe some of the examples that she'll be sharing with you that demonstrate what's possible when you implement what she'll be revealing to you tonight. Wouldn't that be amazing to happen for you? So great to finally have the level of success you want and you deserve, right? With the knowledge that she'll be sharing with you tonight, this is possible for you too. So let me ask you a question here. You've heard that knowledge is power, right? Pretty common phrase. Go ahead and type that in the chat box there if you've heard that phrase. Knowledge is power. Well, awesome. Lots of folks have seen that. Fantastic. The answer is actually no. Knowledge without action is nothing. Nothing. If you don't take action on what you hear today, you'll be in the same place, perhaps for years. As I've seen with so many entrepreneurs who have big dreams and big ideas and brilliant offerings, but who are floundering when they should be flourishing. But if you take action, strategic action, that is the key. Now, you can resist, you can look down on anything, and everything that we share here with you tonight, but what Lynn shares with you tonight, but that's not what you're here for. You're here to be elevated to the level that you want to achieve in your business, and as a result, your life. So get your eyes and ears open, alive and focused, pen poised and ready, and let's welcome the incomparable Lynn Rose. Welcome, Lynn.
Yay! Thank you so much, Rick. Oh, wow. Thank you. Just such a wonderful intro. So appreciate it. And I so appreciate the opportunity to connect with your community, as I know we are on similar missions in that we want to support entrepreneurs so they can get their brilliance out there, and that's what you do with Done For You Solutions, of which I'm a part of and recommend all my clients do, and with what I do with Launch You Now. So I think we have this, unified passion in supporting entrepreneurs for being able to be all that they're meant to be. So talking with everyone here, let's look at our time together coming ahead like a workshop, okay? So get ready, get those notes, keep your focus. We're going to keep this interactive, so we really want you typing in, yes, yes. If we ask you, imagine, do you see this? Yes. Type in. Let's keep that interactive. We'll be taking your questions at the end. So as you have questions, write them down and make sure you can then type them in later, if you will, once we go for questions. Also, this is, as Rick said up top, and you might have just joined us, so I'll share that this is a newer technology that we're trying out. So in fact, let me just see where I look. You might see my eyes looking down. It's because where I'm operating this from, which is just the best way to do it instead of having someone else do it, come down here. But I'm still talking to you when I look down here, okay? So I'm going to transition and see if that works. Is that working? Yes, it is working. I love it when things work. Okay, so then we can even test this. It goes to the next slide. Beautiful. Okay, and we'll test now coming back to me. It works. Fantastic. And this is a collaborative effort. So if you see something that we need to be aware of, please don't hesitate. Type in the chat box. And as you heard Rick say, we love to hear from you, where you're from, what you're up to, because that's what we're passionate about supporting. Okay, so we're going to dive in. We're going to keep it fun, and your mind's going to be blown with all we're going to share here. This is so much information, illustrations in process, and as you look at examples I'll share with you or possible ways for you to approach, start thinking about how could that apply to you in every moment that you get a chance, all right? But let's talk about you right now. So you're on here right now, because you're an entrepreneur or professional who's wanting to transition into your own business. One or the other. You're already an entrepreneur, or you're a professional that's wanting to transition to that being your full-time business. Type yes if that's you, and I'm pretty sure that would be, or you wouldn't be joining us here. So I want you to imagine and picture yourself in the following. So we're going to share with you here. Well, here's a beautiful road to success. And whatever that might be for you, and everybody's different. That's one of the things that why I love with what I do. We really honor what is it that's for you. But as we look at some of these possibilities here, is that something that you'd like to become, that top expert in your industry or the go-to expert in your area of expertise? Is that something that would light you up, and what would that open up for you? Would you like to have, oh, let's see, this is moving a little slower, but that's welcome to technology. Would you love to have clients coming to you in droves, and it's effortless. If anything, you get to pick and choose who you want to work with. That sounds quite lovely, doesn't it? Yes. Would you like crystal clarity and direction? So now when you're talking about what you do or what you're up to, you don't have people's eyes glaze over. And you know it, and you own it, and you just have that clear path and what that's creating for you. And would you like to skyrocket your business and abundance? I think we all would enjoy that and welcome that. How about more speaking bookings, paid speaking bookings, or speaking bookings that are free but where you can sell in the back and continue to grow your list and generate revenue that way, or being interviewed on media and getting even greater exposure? How exciting is that, and how fulfilling? Feel into what that would be like for you and what that would mean to you, right? Okay. Now, let's look at the idea of you having a $5,000 speaking booking. Now, maybe you don't speak and that's not where your focus is. Maybe you're a real estate agent or a lawyer or an author. You're not into speaking, although if you're an author, speaking will absolutely naturally become part of your path. If you're a CEO, speaking becomes a part of your path. Well, why not leverage that and leverage your brand and get paid speaking opportunities? Well, what you're seeing here in quotation marks are actual results that happen out of the process I'm going to take you through step by step in our next time, in our whole time here together. I'm going to lift the veil and give you a behind the scenes peeking into what you can expect, what you can do, and what you must do. So let's look at some other possibilities and imagine yourself in there as we go. So what about a TV show offer? Now, we have had a number of clients get on TV shows strictly because of what we created for them and how that acted as the vehicle and the engine for them, made that connection. And we'll talk more about that coming up here and what you can do. Oh, what about if you're an author, to even before your book comes out, getting a sponsor and a bulk order of books? Would that not be phenomenal? Well, we've had that happen as well, and that's possible for you when you can follow the elements and in the very things I'll be sharing with you here tonight and see what's possible for you. So what about those high-end clients pouring in? So you can have your rates where you belong, where you deserve, and work with those high-end clients. And you know, everybody's different. Whatever that is for you, there may be some other things that you'd like, but these are exact examples that have happened for clients, and we'll even show you how that happens and how that can happen for you. Okay, so imagine how amazing that would be. Any of these things or what you're aiming for, if you could bring all the elements together and get launched to that leading status. Wouldn't that be cool? Wouldn't you love to have that, or some of these things that we mentioned here? But wait, there is a problem. And it's coming, this fun little slide to illustrate that. So yes, there is a problem. And through the decades of working with entrepreneurs and working with the best of the best, actually, you heard Rick talk about, you know, Mark Victor Hansen, Harv Eker, goodness, Laurel Langmeyer, I mean, you name it, getting to be on these big entrepreneur stages for the last 12 years, actually. and getting to see from behind the scenes and in front of the scenes, and getting to see these entrepreneurs or experts or people that have a dream of this message they so want to get out there and share with the world, or this process they discovered that they want to package to be able to get out there, or they want to make their niche as an entrepreneur and be part of this program that'll reach people, and they get to create that abundance and freedom that that can bring while making a difference. Whatever that is for you, I've seen thousands and thousands and tens of thousands of entrepreneurs with these big hearts and passions and commitments, and they're working so hard, and they're investing in themselves, and they're going from one seminar to another, and they're going from one training to another, and they're getting all this information, and they're working so hard, and then yet they're barely getting where they want to go, and they're starting to get discouraged, or they're starting to run out of juice or money. They're maybe years later and they've barely made any progress. They're on that gerbil wheel. I don't know if you can relate, if you've ever been there, but I haven't just observed that, I've even been that myself. So I know that feeling, and especially let's say you get to the next level, you want to go to that next, and you're just like trying so hard, trying all these different things, right? Well, that is why this is what I do, and that is why I'm so excited to be here with you tonight and share what we're going to share with you, so that you can connect the dots together in the right way for you, not following some set template and thinking that's what's going to be for you, because it's about how it comes together for you to be able to then get to the top of your industry or field or where you're wanting to go with what you're sharing out there with the world, okay? So let's see, what to expect in this next hour and a half is at the end you're going to understand exactly what you need to do to get yourself launched to leading expert so that you can make the income and the impact that you want. Let's come back to me. We don't have to wait anymore. There we go. Oh, there we go. It was on me. There we go. Sorry. Okay, again, this is new technology, so if you're just tuning in, we're trying out new technology. And if you are just tuning in too, let's also just let you know that there is a chat button. Is it to the left or the right? I'm asking the team here.
Right.
To the right, okay. So it's to the right, and we invite you to share who you are, where you're from. Stay focused, because this is like workshop time, all that we're going to be sharing with you here. But we do like to know that you're there and keep this interactive. Type yes or yes, that's great. Just really let's keep that energy going, okay? Awesome. And we'll be staying on after questions, after I share all of this with you, taking you step by step, the exact process that I give the clients that gives them the done-for-you service of tying it all in together and creates these results that we just share with you up top, okay? And what you need to do so that you can connect those dots and get launched to that leading status, can create abundant success, doing what you love, make the impact you're passionate about making, and everything else that's waiting for you. So I want to go to another slide coming up here, and let's do a little transition. There we go. Now stay on to the end, because also coming up, we're going to be having a bonus for all of you showing up here live and waiting to the end and being able to gather all this information, which is going to support you. I'm also going to reward you, because that shows you're committed, that shows you're serious, that shows you're attentive, and this bonus will support you so much on this path as well. Okay, so stay tuned as we keep moving forward. And I did say, that's right, note about attention and staying focused. And now let's go to the next slide here. And what does this mean exactly? Well, that actually is a picture of me as a little kid. And we'll come back to it so you can see it. But we all come out of the womb full of life, full of purpose. We're unfettered by things that might come in our way. And I remember as a kid, I just wanted everyone to be happy. I wanted the world to be happy. I had such hope and possibility for the planet. In first grade, I ran around the neighborhood putting up signs that said helpful hints. I don't even know what that is for a first grader. But, that's kind of been my spirit, and I believe we all have that. But something happens along the way, right? And as entrepreneurs, we know what that is about, being able to withstand whatever 2x4s or whatever might come up for us. But for me, I had a lot of I had a lot of issues, shall we say, in my childhood. I still carried on. I won't go into any of what that is because that's not what we're here for tonight. But I will say that even though I was able to continue to perform and do what I love, it all came from this place of being just look at the outside and don't really look on the inside and who I am really. And finally, as an adult, that then caught up to me. And I was doing a Broadway show. You'd think I'd be happy. However, behind the scenes, and this is being frank here, but it was bulimic. I was doing some things that were not great. And suddenly the show got canceled. I suddenly had a thing with a casting director who took one look at me, wouldn't let me read for the big soap opera on CBS because she said, you have a bulbous nose and this jaw thing. And I thought, why should I even try that? Oh no, it's over. I mean, all these different things happened that then also triggered things from my past to where then everything that I loved, the singing, the performing, all that I do, instead, I got shut down. And this is in my 20s here. And shut down to where I could no longer sing. I could barely speak. I had zero confidence and consumed with fear and with just wanting to hide away. And it was so bad, and this picture here tries its best to capture it, but doesn't really capture it. But it's one of the few pictures I have from this time of that shutdown period. But I had to leave the entertainment business for 2 years practically and cocoon away and now start discovering myself from a different place. Now start discovering about letting myself really be seen at the core and to really connect from the core and now let go of those walls. And then as a result, I finally, and this is just jumping to the chase here, but I finally moved through that. I got an audition that I was able to then launch everything else, and I then started being on fire again. And I got to now perform all around the world, doing what I love. And as Rick mentioned, all sorts of media and big, huge conferences, corporate conferences, and still doing. Love, 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 love that. So I share that with you because I want you to know that it's not like I came out of the womb being able to what I do and yay, it was all easy and happy. You know, we all have our hidden worlds. And I think a lot of times that's part of what becomes our mission. That's part of what becomes our purpose. That's also part of why I love working with entrepreneurs, because I can so feel and tap into where they might have come from and to be able to be part of elevating them so their purpose is realized. And part of my purpose has been allowing people to come out of that shell and be able to come forward fully and just celebrate and be all of who you are and realize that purpose. And I have a unique ability to zero right in. And coming from the background of entertainment and the background of marketing, because I got mentored over the past 12 years, mentored by some of the top leaders in our industry, Robert Allen and Mark Victor Hansen, Harv Eker, as we mentioned, not just doing their conferences, but getting personally mentored by them. And, you know, this mastermind I'm now a part of that is so phenomenal. So I feel like I have a unique perspective in that I have that passion to help people's essence come forth and find that path or bring it out if it's hidden, but also the entertainment side. Been in media for years. I know what translates on video and media, and also on the marketing side, what's going to connect, what's going to get you where you want to go and launch you. Okay? So, let's keep moving forward here as I look for our next thing here. So I want you to imagine waking up every day. Imagine whatever that vision is for you. And imagine waking up every day and knowing you are on purpose. It's been realized. You have all the foundation is in place, your message is clear, you've got the clear strategy, your programs are selling out, or your business is exploding, you're making media appearances or speaking bookings if that's what you love. Imagine that. and how that feels. Okay? And when I give you what you can implement today, what can be shown today, that can accelerate your path for getting to where you would like to go. And like I said, that's what has happened with so many of the clients I've got to serve with the Launching Now Done For You service, that I'll be taking you through step by step so you can see what you can do. All right, so let's just first bust a myth out there that where a lot of people feel like it's fine enough as long as I've got a great process or a great program or service, that'll be what does it. Okay, at least if I get a web page, an opt-in, and a video up, yay, I'm set. But the problem is, and this is why it just breaks my heart, I meet people that have these amazing ideas, such an incredible story to share, or a process they've discovered, whether that's a healing process or some technical process, whatever that might be, that would make such a difference on the planet, but it's not making that connection. And that it is such my goal and my mission that I'm able to support people so they can get that out there. And that's the missing link, are these elements that I'm sharing with you. And busting the myth about the opt-in page or about the web and the video. Those are all so important. But it's not just about having it up. It's like having a business card you got up there, and then you're on a busy street and you throw it in the air and you hope people's going to start coming to you with business now. It's about how it all comes together, how it's going to connect with your potential client or your market that you're serving, and how you communicate it, and then how it leads them down the path where you want them to go. And that way, when you have that clear path for them, that's not just a service for you so your business can grow and expand and your process get out there. It's a service for your potential client or market, because now they can have the benefit of what you provide and what you offer. Okay, so I'm going to now take you through these 4 elements that we have as our keys for the Launching Now process, and I'm going to take you in depth with each one and using client examples to illustrate what to do and how it works and the results that happen as a result as well, okay? And I'll show you specifics, so how you can laser in on that and be able to do it for yourself along with these examples. But first, let's show a video that illustrates all these elements coming together while showing you, and this is going to get you so excited, okay, while showing you a before and after in a video here, and then we're going to dive deeper into each element. I'm not even telling you the elements right now. As you see this in motion, then we'll talk about it afterwards, and then you'll be able to maybe start zeroing in on what the strategies are. Okay, so let's, before I show you the before, let me tell you a story about who I'm going to share with you. And she's now become a dear friend of ours and a force in her own right in our industry. Carrie Tepedino, if you don't know her work already, I absolutely recommend you check her out. She's a holistic health practitioner. I don't want to tell you too much about her, but she came to us and she'd been struggling to fill her coaching program. She barely had any money, but she was like, okay, I got to do something because I'm enough of this struggle and working so hard to get a program filled and having to prove myself. And she had this great work out there that helps people break up the comfort. Anyway, I don't want to give away too much. So she had this great process out there and this great work. And so she came to us. Now I'm going to show you first her before video, okay? And then we'll point out what wasn't working within the video, not just technically, but even other aspects. And then we will tell you what we did with her and what you can do, and I'll dive in that in specifics as we go along, and then show you the after and some of the results, okay? So first of all, let us get to the, let me cut over here, let us get to the before. So Bob, how do I, okay. Let's see, we'll see, I'm gonna see, oops. All right.
Technology.
It's technology. Welcome to technology. All right. Nope. Hi, this is Bob Doyle from The Secret. Okay, well we do have a plan B. You know, one of the things is being backed up and prepared, and we've got this what we want to show you available to access right here in another file. So Bob's going to help me with that. Here is the before. Are we showing it on here? Okay, great. Oh, you gotta love technology.
Hey, you know, we want everybody's time.
Exactly. You know, and
Hi there, I'm Carrie Cepedino, your personal holistic health strategist and connoisseur. I'm so excited that you're here with me today, ready to discover this opportunity to embark on a life-changing journey where you take control of not only your own health, but your own life.
There we go. Okay. So as you think about that, so you just saw that, think about, okay, you know, that was fine. She was being herself. You know, you might, and we see a number of these unprofessionally shot videos as that main calling card video to do the work for you, to be your engine, to communicate who you are, to have people connect with you, to get that message across, right? And that's, you know, good for her that she put a video up because, you know, we're not even covering the importance of video because we're under the assumption you understand how important video is. Okay, and let's, you know, at least give you that context. But, you know, she at least had a video up. But unfortunately, sometimes great videos sell, but bad video repels. And she wanted high-end clients. She wanted to be able to generate and have her coaching programs filled up. She wanted to become a force in the industry. But this isn't giving her that type of credibility. Plus, if you were to listen what she was saying, she was doing the typical type of thing where people are just talking, hi, how are you, what's going on, I'm this, listing what they are, but it's not really addressing the person who's watching what's going to hook them, what's in it for them. And it's not positioning her at playing at the top of the game of her game because the quality is low. It's bad audio, it's bad lighting. I mean, there's a number of things that you can see there. So let's talk then about how we worked with her. All right, and again, we will take you in much more specific detail on what you can do. But I'm going to give you the broad stroke with Carrie here as an example that covers all of these 4 elements. Okay, so we then worked with her and we said, well, let's get clear on strategy. Where are you wanting to guide them? Where are you wanting them to go? And what is that unique qualifier? What is that thing that you're about that stands out that isn't just like everybody else or just a list of holistic health practitioner? Because not everybody knows what's a holistic health practitioner and how is that going to help me, right? So we worked with her, and one of the things she talked about is that and all her clients, she's seen they have this toxic conversation in their head that will get in their way of them doing the actions they know they need to take, or bringing them down so then they turn to the bad food or the bad habits or don't exercise because of that conversation in their head. And she was brilliant at not just laying out for them a plan that makes sense and was best for them, but she was brilliant at being able to help them remove that toxic conversation. So not only can they have that clear plan, but they will actually show up and do it, right? That's kind of important. So we made sure to make that messaging a part of her messaging. There's other things that we're aware of, which we will share with you when we get to those parts of the elements and illustrate and call back to Carrie. But here's the other thing we did is we professionally shot her video. Now this is 2 or 3 years ago, so our qualities of videos are completely transformed and changed. But even then, at that time, and even now, it still holds. She still uses this video to this day. She loves it. She says, it's working for me. I'm not going to change it. But it positions her because it's professional, because you get her message, you get what she's saying, and she looks confident. You know, we coached her in studio so that she came alive, had even more personality. So now, let's go. Let me first transfer over to the slides, and now let's go to the next video. Do you want to, let's see if we can see if this one works. Again, welcome to technology, ladies and germs. Is that working? Nope. Okay, so that's fine. Where do I go for the, okay, we're having Bob coming in a moment. Yeah, all right. Gotta love technology. It's okay. Oh, you're doing it over there? Okay, great. So good. He's going to get that handled for us in just a moment. I'll bring it back to me. Okay, I'll stop moving the mouse. I'll get moving in one moment. Here we go.
Yeah. No commercial breaks.
That's right, we can do that. It's coming.
Hi, I'm Carrie Tripodino. Did you know that it's not you, but actually the conversation you have going on in your head that's controlling your weight and your health? How would it feel to eliminate that toxic conversation forever while dropping excess weight and getting into the best shape of your life? And what if it could actually be fun and easy?
Yay! Yeah, exactly. What if it could be fun and easy? Is that possible? Oh, did they even see that video? Oh, okay, I got it. Are you going to run that now? That's fine. We got Bob back there. He's helping me. Gosh, bless him. He's the techie in our, so, you know, he's out of favor is helping run this new technology, which I learned about through him. So thank you, Bob. Okay, so you can see now. Now type in there. What did you see? What difference do you get? Now, what I think, though, is it's great and go, let's create things, but what are the results? Results are so important, right? So let's examine the results. So here she had been struggling for years. Same process, same woman. And she'd been around all sorts of high-end marketers, but and in different programs, but it hadn't synthesized or come together the way that it needed yet. And now we got to get clear on her opt-in offering that she's driving them to. We got to nail in on that messaging for her and what she stands for and create this professional video that establishes that credibility and draws people in. And the way that she did this video, well, here are the results. Within 2 months, within weeks, within weeks, her coaching program filled up right away. She also got the attention of the Deepak Chopra Center, and they got it when they got to see what she was about, and then asked her to connect her to their high-end clients. So now she'd been wanting high-end clients because she was working with people that were struggling, and then they would default on their paying, or it'd be so hard to even get them to sign up. Now she had high-end clients coming in droves, and she also got an offer to be seen out of thousands as a potential host for a new show on NBC. She'd never done TV before, but she was ready. She had her materials set up. She that got to represent her, what she's about. They could see instantly in that video, oh, she's great. She'll translate great on camera. She's got a clear message. She's playing at a high level in her game. And so they brought her in. So look at the power of that. And then for those who also understand the importance of having the abundance that we need and want so that we can give back, so that we can have that freedom, all the things that abundance can bring. Well, she got so much abundance in 2 months that within 2 months she went to Mexico on a vacation, and she hadn't been on vacation in years. So can you imagine that? Isn't that awesome? That's so cool. And that is possible for you when you can do that for yourself as well. And that's why I'm thrilled with what we're sharing here. So now let's break down what these elements are. Now the first element that she well illustrates is strategy. And she illustrates all of them. And this is what's so important to you. And we're going to give you some examples as we go along as well. So strategy. Now, so many people just want to, okay, this is my message, and let me get up my video up here, and I'll just offer them something, and it'll be a nice opt-in. But it's not about that. You want to think about the whole picture. Where are you leading them? What are you standing for in this calling card video that captures you with all that you stand for and all that you offer? And what is that opt-in, that compelling opt-in? These days, more than ever, people don't want to be giving away their email address, right? So you've got to make it so compelling they can't say no. A video series is great. Like, give away a video series. Certain people are giving away their books or a chapter out of the book. That's great, but why are you giving a chapter out of the book? And that chapter of the book is a great thing to give, but I would add something else to that as a strategy. It would also, whether it's an audio you create or a PDF that you create that takes them through your, the broad stroke of your 5-step process, or gives them some tips that are related to the work that you do, then that can lead to then paid work with you eventually, because they get what you offer, what you're about, all the more. And you want them digesting it. People don't care as much about a first chapter of a book, although it's great, it's compelling, and if you can get them to read that and it's a compelling chapter, it'll take them to the next and then potentially buy the book. But the book is a lead generator. It's establishing you as an expert, and it leads them to the next thing with you, to your workshop, or to your company, or to your area of expertise, or to your consulting with companies, whatever that might be. So you've got to make sure that you see that whole picture. And what are these programs you're going to create? Now, I feel, as I'm sharing this with you, what's going to so much better illustrate this is illustrating this through a client example. But before we do that, I do want to, Bob got up there for me a slide to share with you. So what we see, problems that people have is they don't have the proper strategy. Can you go to the next one? Okay, they don't have a clear, I've clicked twice. They don't have a clear, compelling, or captivating message, which we'll get to. All right. And actually, what I'm doing right now is jumping ahead, and I don't want to do that yet. Okay, so we're covering strategy at the moment. So let me share an example of the client example, okay, and why this will illustrate everything and even get you thinking about ideas for you. And this is one of my favorite stories. So another client who has now become one of our great friends. We feel like clients are family, and just love the people that we get to work with. And we worked with this beautiful soul named Audra, and she's so fun and playful. And she'd been in the corporate world for years, but she wanted to transition into being a full-time coach. That she just knew she had so much she wanted to share. And for 5 years, she was carrying around this book idea in her head. And she'd write down different notes in different places, and they were just scattered all throughout, but nothing really even cohesive other than some seedling of an idea or concept. Have you been there? Have you had something like that? Or maybe that's you right now, right? And she's like, now it's time. And she'd been going to seminar after seminar and training and masterminds, and loved her masterminds, loved the training. The events are great. They're fun, the connections you make. But she was still in the same place. And so one of her things that she works on is baggage claim. She has a whole metaphor around baggage claim. And if we can just claim our baggage, then we can let it set it free, and then be able to be who we want to be instead of trying to run away from the baggage or hide from it, right? So that was basically her approach. And of course, all the metaphors you can well imagine. And as we were working with her, we were saying, well, what about organizing it in a structure to where it becomes your own unique branded process, and also will automatically, as a result, lay out what your program would be that you would then lead them into and sell them into, and it just gives you even more credibility because it's your own branded process. And so we came up with, what about CLAIM? And as she had talked about the various things of what she saw as part of her idea, we were able to chunk it into 5, if you will, elements, right? And it became baggage claim, CLAIM. And she was thinking, yeah, but I can't really offer any programs yet until my book's out, and I haven't really begun writing my book yet. And we said, no, right now you need to start marketing those. That's what you stand for, and that the book will be coming. But right now, have a 30-day challenge. We love 30-day challenges. They're hot. Or a 90-day challenge. You can structure it the way that you wish, and it can be either something that you do for free that then can lead to further work with you, or charge $97, $197, $297, whatever you would charge. And I'm saying this for you. Think about how this applies to you, right? And then those CLAIM can guide what those weeks are and what you're going to share with them. And as you're working with people, you're going to discover what works and maybe what can I tweak, what are people responding to. You're going to get amazing testimonials, and you'll be monetizing now and not waiting. And you're establishing your brand now and not waiting until you got that all figured out and perfect. Get in motion now, right? And by working with us, she'd have the facility to start doing that. And she was elated, in fact, elated to the point of tears, and so grateful, which just made us happy. And then we created this video you're about to see, which we'll just show you a little snippet of it. And you can see how it captures her playfulness, because she used to be terrified of speaking. And she's been letting her spirit come out more and more. And of course, we encourage that once in studio within the coaching that we provide. And so you'll just get to totally get who she is in like 30 seconds here. So Bob, do you want to take us to Miss Audra?
Do you feel weighed down in your life and work? Dragging through your days instead of excited and passionate? All because you're carrying around a bunch of baggage you probably don't even know about. It's all in there. Every time you got bombed, meaning every rejection, every disappointment, every humiliation, everything that didn't work out for you. It's all part of the programming that saps your strength and keeps you playing it safe and not going for the things that you want in life. It's time to finally claim that baggage so you can drop it at the curb and claim the life you deserve. Hi, I'm Audra Irwin, the High on Life coach, and I specialize in helping you not settle for less than what you really, truly want in life. You see, too many people are waiting around and settling like I did, staying in a corporate job they hate, or in a relationship that looks good on the outside.
We're trying.
Empty or void of passion.
Awesome video.
We're loving her so much we can't stop. Are you back? Are we back to me on? I don't think I see me yet. Do we need to transition back to me? Okay, there we go. Hooray! Here we go. Yay! Well, obviously, we played it a lot longer than we had intended, but you get to get the sense of what she stands for. You get who she is right away. You get her spirit, right? Definitely interact in the chat. Say yes, yes, or what you liked about that, what you saw that got to stand out about that. And what she got so excited about, because we also strategized, which I'm going to share with you a little bit later, but we strategized all these little video insights so she'd share interesting stories or share metaphors that illustrated a point she wanted to make. We got to create a video series for her baggage claim. So that's part of our compelling opt-in, is in that video series of the baggage claim. We created the Meet Audra videos and all sorts of things that we'll share for you, share what you can do. And, it just gives her this solid library and now this solid brand. She doesn't have to wait till her book has come out in a way that she can integrate within her book. Now, isn't that cool, Rick? Like, that it's not you have to wait until it's done. There's ways you can start moving forward and ways you can start establishing your brand and ways you can start monetizing.
Waiting is never going to make you any money.
Exactly. And it was a stretch for her because, she had to invest her savings from being in the corporate job and being able to work on this, but she was willing to do that, and now it's completely transformed, getting her that clarity and getting that strategy and getting all that you see here created. So now we're getting ready to also give you another example because, again, I want you thinking how this can apply for you. Now, we worked with someone who was in the corporate sector as a consultant, and she worked with nonprofit foundations and the government and, gosh, I'm forgetting even, there's like all these 5 different sectors of industry. And she wanted to be able to somehow cover it all, but how could she make it all come together? And we found the common thread, and that's what you need to do, is what is the common thread, and maybe if you have various aspects to what you're about, what is that common thread that is then what you stand for? I'm about sharing your brilliance with the world, coming alive with who you are and your message and your purpose in all that I do, okay? And I have many even very different types of things that I do, but that clear center. So what is that connected through line for you? And for Gloria, she knew that it was about leadership. She worked with these organizations and helped them really get the kind of leadership to where their following would respond, to where their following would take the action they want them to take, where they could then grow their membership base. Associations is another thing that she worked with. And so we again, zeroed in on, okay, let's find that branded process for you, and also know that's going to be around leadership. And then you can talk about how you serve these different industries, and it has a common through line. It isn't seeming scattered. Well, I'm from the government, so how that's going to apply to me? Or I'm from the nonprofit, how that's going to apply to me? She was former president of the Asian Caucus, worked with President Obama, you name it. So, she'd been around. She was established. So we came up with high impact leadership, IMPACT. All right, became her process. And then just give you a little taste real quickly here of Gloria. You can see a very different style, but see how that worked for her. And she's coming to you.
Hi, I'm Gloria S. Chan, high impact leadership consultant, Harvard Law graduate, and creator of the Impact Principle. And in my years of serving in Congress as the executive director of the Asian Pacific American Caucus, and later as the head and turnaround expert of a major nonprofit, I discovered a unique set of challenges that a certain breed of visionary leaders all face. You'll find these leaders in academia, corporation, government, nonprofit, and philanthropy. They share the same consciousness of their power and the awesome responsibility it carries. They could be satisfied with their success and status, but that's not what it's about for them. Do you feel weighed down in your life and work?
Audrey, you just wanted to make another appearance, didn't you? Yay, welcome to technology. But hopefully you could listen and see. This isn't just like, let's show you examples. This is about you tuning in what's possible for you. Click yes if you're getting what we're talking about here, and start thinking about how that could apply for you. And also tune in, because there's a lot of these videos are showing more than just this first element of strategy. They're showing messaging, they're showing media, they're showing getting seen, which is a little precursor for what's coming. And her messaging then got to nail it, because we zeroed in on the strategy and approach that she would take, and then also what that branding and that messaging for her is. And so can you see how amazing that would be if you could know, yes, I've got this clarity, and this is my branded process. This is what I stand for. I hang my hat on this. It's like you're off and running when you get that clarity in that direction. And she wrote to us later and shared how she got all sorts of amazing contracts, because also, as you can tell, that video so beautifully positions her. Whereas before she had an unprofessional video she was shooting like in her car, being all playful, and you've got to be who you are. And she still let her playful side come out. But when it's that unprofessional in that context, that won't serve you. And she also had all sorts of different information videos that established her as the expert. So it was brilliant for supporting her, for just opening up a world of contracts and success that she's taken off with now. And that leads us now, because this is important, right, to the next element, and they all play together. So it's hard to break them out because they all tie in together. And that next element is messaging. Okay, and you saw that with Carrie, right? Well, let's zero in on that unique identifier, which is eliminating the toxic conversation. You saw that with Gloria right here. Okay, that core message or that core unique identifier is the leadership, high impact leadership. Okay, so I don't know that if we have this slide, and Bob, if you can see where we have the slide of what they can do under messaging. If not, I know I will communicate with you. I don't want to show it yet, but as we go, you could show. Oh, you don't see me yet. Okay, here we go. All right. Hi, I thought I was on camera. I am now. So in messaging, let's talk about some key elements that are really important. Oh, good. Perfect. This will be happening in the order that I want to. So Bob's taking us back to the slide so I can talk you through this. All right, this is what you need to do for your messaging. Okay, so first is figuring out what is your unique identifier. Okay, just click it. There we go. What's your unique differentiator? So for Carrie, it was that toxic conversation, right? What is that? And what could be your unique differentiator? Could be your background story. For me, part of it is my background story. I come from that background of media and marketing. I come from that background where I'd been shut down completely and it stopped me. But then I learned to find my way through in a different way. And now I'm able to dance with fear. I have fear all the time, but I know how to handle it and how to dance with it. And it allows me to be unstoppable, and it also allows me to tune into people in such a unique way. So what's your unique differentiator? So ways to come at that and find out for you would be to talk to people that you've worked with. Look at their testimonials and what's a common thing you see them saying. Look at what the feedback you're getting from them, and there's little elements that will pop out. Like when we talk with people, we just have them talk and just share all about how you work with people. That might be another thing. How you work with people is unique, right? So for Carrie, as a holistic health practitioner, it wasn't just here's the proper food and ways to exercise and supplements.
Hi, I'm Carrie Tippedino.
Speaking of Carrie Tippedino, we're hearing Carrie Tippedino right now, by the way.
Conversation...
That was not meant to happen, but that was interesting timing, right? How I love synchronicity. So it wasn't just about food and exercise. It was also about getting rid of that toxic conversation. That was part of her process. So that can also be what your unique differentiator is and how you work with people. So look at those elements, how you work with people, what your backstory is. Certainly a branded process is great, but look at those different things, what you hear back as a common thread from testimonials or people who work with you that you might not have been seeing. I know for Bob and I, when Bob was part of Launch You Now, and now he's my support team and does his, of course, out there continuing his own thing, but when we worked with Carrie, we were as a team at that time, and I remember she said that it was the best business strategy advice she'd ever had, even from business strategists she'd paid. You know, so because it all comes together. You can't leap ahead and just start making the video without knowing first your strategy, and then from there zeroing into your messaging, and then from there creating the media. So, but we didn't even realize. That's where we started realizing, oh yeah, this is a huge part of it. We didn't even see it because we just took it for granted, right? Okay. So the next, let me just go back here. Your background, we covered that. I am clicking it and nothing's happening, so that's okay. What's your credibility? So as credibility for me, being in media, being in marketing, you know, I've done infomercials before for years. I've been a TV host for years. I have a nationally syndicated radio show. You know, having understanding being in front of the camera and how you connect, and as a speaker, so I certainly have that credibility, if you will, on working with people so that their performance comes alive, right? So what's your credibility? What do you have in your background that gives you that instant credibility? And what results do you get for people? We said that already. And what's your unique voice, and how do you communicate? And that's so important in messaging too. You don't want to try to just take it on and sound like everybody else. Don't just grab some template and fill in some blanks and then think, hi, now I'm sounding like every other internet marketer out there. I'm sounding like robo expert. Go ahead. Oh, I'm not showing the slide. Okay, I'll trans to the slide. If you hear whispering or things happening, Bob is helping and just letting me know that we want to make sure you see the slide. Okay, so there's some of those things that we talked about. If you want to write that down, okay, so write that down because these are really, really important, okay? And if this is helpful to you, if you're starting to see how this plays out, go ahead and type yes in there. And we're getting ready for arson, okay? Let me transfer back to me, and I'll get us set up here on the slide to get going for that. Let's jump ahead to arson when I'm ready, okay? So I'm going to share with you a story about arson, and he so well illustrates the messaging, but certainly also the strategy and media, and then how you can leverage that, okay? So Arson was 77 years old when he came to us. He'd been, I had known him from like 10 years back. I'd seen him at events, right? But he was selling insurance, or he used to be a city planner. He was trying this MLM of healthy chocolate, and now he was wanting to write a book on ageless attitude. So he came to us and he said, you know what? The rubber to meet the road. It's time to make it happen, or that's it. I've been going to all these different trainings and events and not getting out there the way I want. Okay, so what gives here? And so he said it could be about chocolate, could be about insurance, it could be about this. We said, no, Arsène, look at your vibrant spirit, because he had this great bon vivant spirit that you'd light up a room, and you just loved him at events because he just was so playful with people and had such passion. And he's a 77-year-old guy. We're like, that's perfect for you to have ageless attitude. We hadn't finished his book yet. He hadn't really even started writing it, but we said, that's great. Do it around that. And then you can start building out your book and what the programs will be beyond there. And then they'll discover your insurance, that you sell insurance once they get inside your brand. I mean, and perhaps they'll discover your healthy chocolate if that's what you want. But what are you really going to leverage? And what at your core are you really about? And really zero in on that and let that be the entryway to everything else. And I recommend that for you. So again, everything I'm sharing here with examples and possibilities for you, keep thinking what that is for you. And so with Arsène, we said ageless attitude, and then we worked on his messaging. And now here's the key. In working on his messaging, we knew, and this is one of the things I want to have you see, is that you've got to grab them in the first 10 seconds. Yes, in fact, it's probably now first 7 seconds. And you're lucky if someone stays on a video for 30 seconds. You've got to keep switching up the frame rate, and those things we'll talk about in the media part, so that you can keep their attention. But especially in your messaging, grab them that first 10 seconds. Don't spend your first 10 seconds saying, hi, my name is Lynn Rose, and I'm a media and marketing strategist. I've been all around the world, and I'm a coach, and I'm an author, and I sell chocolate. No, don't do that. You've lost them already. You've got to grab them right away. And ways that you can grab them is a compelling question that illustrates the problem. Did you know that 60% of children are overweight, and that by the time they're in their adult years, half of them will become obese? I'm making up figures, by the way. That's not an exact figure. I'm just saying a compelling question that illustrates a problem, or the problem that your target market faces. All right, so think about questions that you could kick it off with. Another way to grab in those first 10 seconds is an interesting statistic. Now, first of all, let's go back to this first one, compelling question, with Carrie Tepedino. If you remember, she said, did you know that it's actually not your weight or your health, but that toxic conversation going on in your head that's keeping you from being, I forget exactly how she said it. Obviously, we worked on it at the time. And that is her compelling question. So, that's a great example of that. Now, an interesting statistic. Did you know that 1 minute of video has been found to be the equivalent of 1 million words in its effectiveness of connecting with people and creating a sale? And that means effective video. Let's clarify that. But I'm just giving you an example of a statistic. Now, that's kind of both a question and statistic together. But there's many ways you can play with that. So you want to capture their attention. It's attention grabbing. Next is what we call the this or that. And this is going to be an example coming up here of our Arsène, so stay tuned. But this or that, that's the infomercial approach, because boy do infomercials know, they're lucky if they even get you for 10 seconds, so they got to grab you. And they do immediate comparison showing the problem and the solution. So do you want to be like this? And they're showing a woman who is working so hard at scrubbing the floors, and it's in black and white, and it's so tough, and she's so dirty. Or do you want to be like this? And they show this woman singing as she's wearing a fine gown, vacuuming and cleaning her floor easily, something like that. You get it, the this or that. And you're going to see it well illustrated, and you will love it with Arsène coming up here. Another is a bold statement, just saying, up until now, you have never experienced whatever, and you're like, what? What are you saying? Or, you could start a bold statement. This depends on your style, but there's those that this is perfect for. You're watching this video, but you have no idea, whatever, some bold statement that could be even polarizing, but will speak to your target market. So those are ideas of a way you can kick off your 10 seconds. Once you get that established, oh, by the way, one other one, this is very important, and you want to kind of have that as part of it regardless, and that's to be entertaining or funny or something attention-getting, like suddenly jumping into frame and then talking, or having the camera move around while you spin while you're talking, or entertaining and it's hilarious, or you got just some way that will capture their attention. Okay, so now let's bring you to our Arsen. And then I can't wait to share his results. So we already told you that we got to get that clarity on his strategy and his messaging and his approach, brought him into studio, and this is going to bring us around to our next element, which is media coming up here and what you can create. But Arsen, here we were saying be ageless attitude, and he comes in the studio, and now he's trying to be like Mr. Watch Me Be an Expert. You ever seen that? Like, hi, I'm here to tell you got a blah, or someone who just like talks really straightforward because they want you to take them seriously. Well, I guess because I'm talking on camera and I'm an expert, then I need to speak very seriously, then you'll take me seriously, you know? But no, we wanted to bring out his personality, and you want to too. What's your personality? Yes, you want to be careful and clear on that, but you want to bring it out as much as you can, because that's what's going to make that connection. And we brought that out in Arsen. We actually even had to do it in little chunks, so we finally got it. And pay attention to how certain edits happened here, which we will address in the media. But I now get to share with you our delight and our joy, our one and only Arsen, and then we'll share with you what happened when this came together for him. All right, when you're ready. And it's coming now.
Regardless of your age, you want to be living your life like this or like this. I'm Arsen Marsubian, 77 years young. I've had 5 heart surgeries. I've had bankruptcies. I've had divorce. And I've had a series of really great career changes and successes. And the one thing I've learned is that life is a series of choices. You can either cash in or check out.
Yay, Arsen! Oops, we'll stop there, Robert. Trying to stop Robert, sorry. Let me see if I can transfer back to me at least. You can see me but not hear me.
Hi, I'm Robert Profundi.
Okay, that's not working.
Lawyer and author.
I didn't click anything. Here we go. Okay, all right. Robert's a little precursor for something that's coming. But okay, so you saw Arsen, right? Isn't he just so lovable? And boy, do you get what he's about in those 30 seconds. There's more to that video that can take it further, but you get his backstory, you get his credibility, you get his personality, you get what he stands for, right? So get this. Arsen did not have a website. He did not have his book written yet. Of course, he had no video, nothing really showing what he was about, but he had this calling card video. This is like such a central engine that you can leverage everything off of. And he was on the, we had just released the video, and this was like 2 or 3 years ago or something like that. I think he's going to be about 80 coming up here now. And he maybe it was a few weeks or a couple weeks after we had just released this video. And he was on the golf course with a friend and somebody else that they met. And I guess they said, what do you do? And then his friend said, whipped out the phone and played Arsen's video on the phone on the golf course. And the person who saw that was like, wow, they got it. And they went, all right. And on the spot, on the golf course, Arsen got a sponsor and a pre-bulk order of books. Ended up becoming 100 books that they pre-ordered. I mean, talk about opening doors. And he didn't have anything else but this strategically crafted video that captured his essence and what he's about. That's how important it is. That's how you can leverage this for all it's worth. And that's what Arsen did. And Arsen is such a beautiful example because he's an example that you're never too old. It's never too late. It's all up to you whether you think that or not. And he's having the time of his life. You know what else happened with Arsen? He's been on several different TV shows, interviewed on Fox. There's so many other things I'm even forgetting. But he's such a great example of messaging. You saw in the beginning the this or that. It was so clear, right? And it wasn't like an infomercial. It was fun. It was playful. It was entertaining, and it was bold. So think about what that is for you, right? And let me just take a little moment here. If this is sounding awesome to you, but you don't want to have to figure it all out yourself, because there's a lot more ahead here too, then I'll tell you, you don't have to do this or figure it out for yourself. But we are, there is a way that we could work together. That's completely up to you. And there is, I'm only working with a handful, and there's a place that you be able to go to apply for a strategy session, and we'll have that come up soon. And that's only if that's something that you're interested in working together. Otherwise, continue to absorb so that you can get all these points we're making and get them implemented, okay? But I just wanted to let you know that for those that might be watching time. Do you think I should let that button come up for them if they need? In fact, I'll do that right now. I'm going to click that button, so it'll display for you. Tell me if you see it displayed, okay? And we'll move forward here. Because the other thing that Arsen illustrates so beautifully, as we got to see there, was the media, right? So he had that calling card video and got to use it for all it's worth. Excuse me, I'm trying to get to the next thing. There we go, compelling media. Here we go. So let's talk about the kinds of media to create and how you can leverage it and why that's important. Well, first of all, I think it's already apparent that if you've got that calling card video, you're going to nail it if it's done in the right way, that you know what that strategy is, where you want them to go, and the path that it's going to lead, where you've got that messaging that captures what you're about and what you stand for, and where you've got the professional video that positions you, but also is shot in a strategic way. You've got to have professional lights, you've got to have the right camera, the right sound, you've got to make sure you're connecting on camera. We'll talk about all that. And there was another thing I want to make sure I said about that. Oh, and you also want to make sure you capture their attention these days. They're thinking it's now like down to 3 seconds, down to 2 or 1 seconds with how much people's attentions are distracted. And so you need to break it up every 7 seconds, or every little bit or so, either changing up the position, adding an interesting graphic or text. If this is about a sales video or a main video that's for your site, the calling card video, where you want to spend this kind of effort for what it'll bring, and that keeps their attention. So their attention might start waiting, but now there's something else for them to see. Sometimes even in the beginning, as you saw, because Carrie and Arsen were some of our, more, from a few years ago, we even used abstract backgrounds because they're slightly moving and they keep your attention. And we have other ways that we do that now. So kinds of media for you to create, though, so that you can take what you stand for. You can have your calling card video, but you also want to have other media that you create that backs it up. Now, we actually revamped our whole, I'm being transparent here, okay? We revamped our whole presentation. So I don't have listed out for you, so listen carefully and write it down, okay? Because this is so important. This is step by step. I'm showing you how we work with clients and what we do. So when we work with VIP clients, one thing we know is video, video, video. It's going to rise you up in search engines. It's going to be the engine for communicating what you're about. It's going to establish you as the expert. It's going to have the media see that you're ready. It's going to position you, all of that. So other kinds of video to back that up, we create a series of what we call video insights. And I recommend they be 1 minute to 3 minutes. If you want to push it to 5 minutes because it's really compelling or so speaks to your target market or so illustrates the story, feel free. But create these video insights. And it's just one thing. Maybe it's answering one of the top 10 questions that you hear most from clients. Then you know that's a question that your target market wants to hear. So answer that one question, have that be the title of your video, and in you is you answering that question. All right, another insight could be is as you went about your day, you experienced something while in line at the grocery store that you saw as a wonderful metaphor for some of the work that you do. Tell that story and tie it in to the metaphor that it is. That's another way to do an insight, establishing your expertise and your perspective and even your wisdom, right? Another way to have a video insight that will serve you is sharing a client story, how you worked with a client and showing their transformation. Here they were before, here they were after, illustrating that through how you worked with them. And make sure it's not just, hey, I got to help them create so-and-so figures, but it's illustrating what they can do, so that it's really serving the people who be watching. And the people who are meant to work with you will then make those choices for themselves because they'll see the value that you provide. But focus on how you're able to give and communicate that. And you populate that on social media. You also populate that in your online media kit and potentially somewhere on your site. And you're all drawing people back into your funnel, into your YouTube channel, into your site to opt in, discovering you and never knew who this was about. By the way, as a speaker, and I'm lucky that I know some of the leading folks out there who put on the corporate events, including one of the top corporate events that speakers in our industry call the Mecca for speakers to get booked. And I was talking to the producer of that event the other day, and he was verifying, along with other speaking bureaus and agents I know, that they will go and search on YouTube and search to look for people they don't know about, let's say, and look for videos that help them see how is this person communicating on camera, what is their expertise, what is their messaging. So you want that out there so they can find you when they're searching in your arena of what you do. So important. And that's, that's going to just help you so accelerate the process. You put these kind of videos out there. Another thing that we do for our clients, and I so recommend that you do this for yourself as well, is the Meet, insert your name, videos. Meet Lynn videos, or the Meet Arson videos, let's say. Now, Arson at the time was when we just did a calling card video. We now just work VIP and create all that I'm talking about here with folks because we see how valuable this is and the game-changing it is. Gloria was VIP, Audra was VIP, to give you an example. So for Meet Gloria videos, let's say, right? And she's now sharing kind of like behind the scenes of herself, so you get to know her. So she want to share something a little vulnerable, maybe about her family, what she loves about her family, maybe share some fun, and we also do something about fun facts, and then you maybe share about these fun facts they would never know about you. Like, for instance, for me, that's swimming with elephants, going bungee jumping, that I speak Japanese. I would take my time and talk about it in a fun way, but I'm just letting you know as examples of things to think about for what you could do. Even talking about why what you do is your mission and why it's so important to you. So shoot videos like that, and again, populate it on social media and let it be the magnet that draws you back, okay? Also, we create video series because, like for Audra, when you have your compelling opt-in, is a video series that will take them through your process, even though it might just be the broad stroke of the process, which can then lead to the deeper work that they would pay to do with you. Then it all plays together, and you've got that video collateral to back it up. All right, so we definitely do that. We also create even just video product that people would sell. These days, you want to get interviewed as a leading expert, you should have somewhere an online video product that's $97 or $197 that maybe then you mark down to $97 for a special telesummit event or something. But you want to have a product like that created, or even a much more comprehensive video product that you sell for anywhere from $500 to $1,000 or $2,000, as we've seen other people sell out there. It depends on you and what you're putting out there. So we'll create the video product as well, the video series for that. And the sales videos, so important. And you want them to be like we showed with Carrie or these others that we showed, where you've got those graphics, because we're so visual these days. We want to be able to see it while we're also experiencing it. That takes it even deeper, and it keeps their attention. So you want that in your sales videos. You don't have to have that in your other videos, but in those main calling card videos or sales videos, that is important. Okay, and then this is not something we do for clients, but you should do as well, and that is on-the-fly videos. We recommend our clients that you shoot videos on the fly. Now those are great as long as you've got this professional videos, even at least one, not calling card, but these professional videos that position you in this credibility and like you're playing at the top of your game, like you're media ready. Then to also have videos that just show you being real, show you on the web and on the webcam, oh, today this happened, or something you do for your blog and you're out and about in the car driving in the holder, not you holding the phone, but you know, sharing all these videos that you catch on the fly. So it just also gets to show you behind the scenes, show you as real, and you can capture things in the moment. Those are awesome, and you want to make as many of those as you can and get them out there on social media. And so that's what we recommend for our clients. That's what we produce for our clients and strategize and map out their programs that they're going to offer if they don't already have them up, and then create that media to support it. Okay? And then that's what is the game changer to then monetizing. That's why when they go opt-in, they don't just opt in and then you never hear from them again, but then they can opt in and follow the path and lead to whatever that you've got that you're selling. Okay? So let's see. Here's a key point, though. It's not just enough to create it. It's crucial how you come across, right? So remember I told you about Arson. Arson was trying to be all expert, and we just worked and worked to bring out his spirit and have him come to life. So now you feel him. Now you get him. Connection is everything. Because if you aren't connecting, well, then the engine is not serving its purpose. And I've seen so many people go into studios and pay thousands of dollars, and then they're not connecting. Or worse, they spend thousands of dollars and maybe they are connecting, but their messaging's falling short. You know, all those different things. That's why how these elements come together are so important. And your performance and your delivery matters. Now, I don't know that I have time to take you through my Speak formula. I'm going to race through just telling you elements, but I will send you the video series of the Speak formula so you can be able to absorb that. That will come to you in a couple of weeks, all right? Because again, thank you for being on the webinar, but that's not your bonus. The bonus is still coming. All right, but ways to help so that you connect, and I'll then show you an example of that in action, okay, is to smile when you talk. It's like Sales 101. It brings up your energy. It lifts up the energy of who's watching you, even if it's a tough topic, especially on video, because otherwise your face looks like you're angry or drawn or bored, and you've got to keep their attention. You've got to have that energy, okay? So smile when you talk. P is to play with it. You play with how you say it. You play with the energy. Think of playing with it, not about got to get it rigid and just right. Play with it. Smile when you talk, play with it. E is for the energy with which you communicate. So you've got to have that passion and that fire, and you want to be connected. You really see in that camera that ideal target market that you're talking to. Think of that client you loved working with, who so needed you at that time, whatever that might be, and that you have this great rapport with. And then feel like that's who you're talking to on the camera. And really, that's not a piece of glass and plastic. That's that ideal client that you so want to serve, okay, or whoever that you're trying to reach. And in a way that makes you feel that playfulness. You don't want to put it in your brain expert. If need be, put your best friend, like when you love to go to a bar and have drinks or Perrier, whatever it is, and laughing over drinks because you want to keep that connection. So smile when you talk, play with how you say it. E, the energy with which you communicate. A is to authentically amplify, and that means to beef it up, to not just, you got to be who you are, and once you have that connection, now you can amp it up, add even more energy, even more playfulness, bigger than you think. You might feel like it's too much because you're not used to maybe communicating that way, but if you authentically amplify it, you will come across worlds better. That's what we had to do with Arson. And now you got to really experience him in his prime level of energy and passion and playfulness. And that's what I want for you. And then K, is to, so we got smile when you talk, play with how you say it, energy with how you communicate, A for authentically amplify, and K is to know who you are. K-N-O-W, know who you are. And it's two things. It means to not try to be, if you're Wayne Dyer trying to be like Tony Robbins, or if you're Tony Robbins trying to be like Wayne Dyer, honor what your style and your unique way is. Yes, authentically amplify it, play with it, but honor your unique style and approach. And know who you are means like that cat that's looking in the mirror and a lion's looking back. To know that you are like that lion. And there's so much more to you that you aren't even aware of yet. I see this with everyone we work with, even people who are already on top of their game, okay? And so I want that for you. So that's the Speak formula to help you so that when you get in front of the camera, you can connect. Whether that's on the fly videos, whether that's when you're shooting your video product or your sales video, whatever that might be. And video is everything. Gonna boost you up in the sales, boost you up in the search engines. It establishes that credibility and it gets people to find out more about you, especially as you populate those videos out there on YouTube. Okay, now we're ready with Robert. Okay, we're getting him lined up for you, coming any moment. And Robert Profundi is a great example of a video insight. Okay, he is an entertainment lawyer and wrote a book called Safe Stardom because he won a huge case of a child actor in Malcolm in the Middle, and works with a lot of children. So we're going to show you just an example where just all the more continues to establish his credibility, and this is one of the video insights that we did for him. We're not going to play all of it, just a little taste of it, so you can get an idea of how this, wow, really establishes credibility. He's done lots of media and book signings and just off and running, and congratulations, kudos, Robert, to how he's doing. So we're ready for him? Okay, it's coming now.
Hi, I'm Robert Profundi, Hollywood entertainment lawyer and author of Safe Stardom, How to Protect Your Children on Their Road to Fame. Through my experience, having been immersed in the business from all sides of the table and having personally represented over 1,000 entertainment families, I've seen actors and actresses being taken advantage.
I just wanted to give you a taste of that, so you can get a sense of how his expertise is showcased there. And he's an expert in these different areas, and it's especially useful for him as an entertainment lawyer, because as people are looking up how do you avoid scams in the entertainment industry, especially with kids, well, there you go, avoiding scams right there. And child entertainment lawyer, and he's more than just represents children, he represents all ages, but you know, he gets to really establish himself as that expert, as you can see. Okay. So tune in. Are you getting to see how this all plays together, seeing what's possible, seeing how important it is if you want to get positioned for high-end clients in the media and bookings and have this library of expert videos that position you, look professional? You know, think how you're perceived and catch the media's attention, just like it did for Carrie, for Arson, for Gloria, for getting corporate contracts. You know, all from having this library of video and encapsulating these elements we're showing you here. So you have all this, but you also want to get seen, and you want it organized in a way that positions you for media appearances and getting interviews and for speaking bookings and for whatever way can get you set up. Now before I do that, I did want to show you before and after of a difference that illustrates the Speak formula. I realize I forgot to show this little bit because boy, does this anchor it in for you, if nothing else. So when our team member is ready, and he's there, he's on it. We're just working with technology. Sean. Yep. So Sean, we're going to show you the little before and after. Real estate agent. Here's her before, and then you'll see her after. And we had to work with her in that studio
to make it saleable. Banks and lending institutions choose me to sell their REO properties because I have an excellent reputation with asset managers, real estate agents, and contractors. I have enough stress getting rid of these properties, Contact me today so I can be your solution.
Now before
Oh boy. Okay, sorry.
Further.
We're stopping that. We're doing our best. 1 second. This system, unfortunately, it goes right to the next video. And that's not even a video we're showing you, but you could see that was her before, right? And you know, looked beautifully shot, but her hair is in her face, and she just looks like she's angry almost. And what she was really saying wasn't connecting either. So she came in the studio, and this wasn't about creating her media. This was about coaching her, so that she came to life, and she also got to really get across what she's about and have it be somebody that they would want to work with. And boy, when she came in the studio, she read exactly like that. And I mean, we had different things for her to say and played with, but coming across that same way. So we worked it in playing the speak formula. And in fact, I even had her do some of these things that you can do too if you need your energy before you shoot, because it's video. You can turn it off, turn it back on when you need to, but you know, woo, dance, shake yourself up, even laugh a little bit, and then record, you know, so it gets your energy psyched up. But we got to apply that speak formula, and here is the after. Now, she could still use a little work, but boy, what a drastic difference, and that's coming to you now. Sean, notice the after. And that's not Sean, but she's coming now.
Hi, I'm Sean Cox. I have 23 years experience selling real estate. I'm a third-generation realtor. I love real estate. So if you want the results I can provide for you, contact me and I'll get right back to you. I can get your property sold.
All right. Whoa, I had her back. Sorry. Oh, goodness. Oh, so yes, I mean, ignore the media part of it. We're looking at her performance alone. And yes, there's things we could have, you know, if we could have more time with her. But what a transformation in the studio, yes? If you're agreeing, you see that, please type chat yes in the chat box there, because that is phenomenal. And that, of course, makes a huge difference. And she was a commercial real estate broker. So you see, this applies across the board, no matter what your realm of industries. Okay, so now back to where we're going with this, that you've got all this library of media, you've got your clarity and message, you know what you want to offer, but you also got to make sure you get seen. And that's what's so beautiful about these videos is, can you just advance the slides forward a little bit? I'm having trouble making it go forward, so if you can just move them forward for a little bit, that'd be helpful to me so we can get ready to show them. So what's great is, and this is what we create for our clients, is the online media kit. And people might go, why do you need an online media kit? You can just have a site and have your media posted there, and you can. But when you have an online media kit, and if you don't mind, when you get to getting seen, go back to that if you can. But when you have an online media kit, that shows you are media ready. That shows you are interview ready. That shows you are booking ready. And I had a great example to show you here. And it's thanks to technology, I cannot show that to you right now. It would be hard to tell you where to go. I will email you and show you the example where you can see what we're talking about. How about that? Because I want you to be able to see what one looks like. It looks very similar to a site, operates similar to a site, but it's organized in the way that the press looks for. And for you, if you're going to do interviews or be out there doing speaking type of things, with one press of a button, it's one and done. One and done. They go there, there's your bio, there's your photos, there's your videos that they can go through and see. There's your interview questions. There's your speaking topics. There's your articles that you've had out there, and maybe any other media you've been seen on. There's a number of things that you would have in that online media kit, and we know the value of that because I even talked to a PR and press person the other day, and they say, oh yeah, we have no time. We have no time, worse than ever. So we just go quickly, we look, and if they can see, okay, this person I'm going to trust, they're going to be good, and they move forward. They got to make those quick decisions. So you want to be ready, okay? And that can help you get seen. And all these videos we talked about out on YouTube, that's part of the getting seen line of things as well. And you also want your photos professionally done. That kind of goes back in the media category, but those would be in your media kit. And that so illustrates that, yes, I'm a firm part of this industry. I'm, again, playing at the top of my game. So, and that's part of what we do too, is shoot a whole series of photos so that you have that you can use for when you're going to be doing an interview or to send off for something that you're up for, whatever that might be. So photos is also an important part. Another important part is connections. It's all about relationships. It's all about relationships. I can't emphasize this enough. I mean, and that's what I love and what we give to our clients, because Bob was in the movie The Secret and connected to all those top leaders. I've been in this industry for 12 years and worked with just about all of them. And, you know, we're all friends. We love and adore each other. We work together, go to masterminds, so we have these amazing connections. And also in the entertainment industry. And when I see a TV show offering, I connect a client up to that. When I see, wow, you should be interviewed by Ariel Ford, I'll say, make that happen. Or, wow, Natalie Ledwell, you'd be perfect for her. And let's just have you connect to Natalie of Mind Movies, you know, see about you. To make those connections are so important. Well, let's say if you don't have connections like that, but you'd like to, or you'd like to know how, go to events and focus on who you connect with. Don't feel like you got to meet everybody. Just really allow yourself to laser in on some key connections so you can keep it simple. Also, you can ask friends who might have connections to those that you want. And you can use LinkedIn. There's all sorts of strategies. But nurture your relationships, because that's a key part for getting you connected. And by the way, don't make these connections to the big players unless you have your materials together in the way that we just showed you here. If you're going to, you know, present yourself, then you want to know, yes, I'm ready to go. Let's go. And when you do, they go, oh, yeah. And we see that all the time. If someone has those materials together and it's done in that strategic way and represents what they're about, they're off and running. So that's also what we do, and what I recommend you make sure that you nurture and make happen as well. Okay, so can you see how all these elements, their strategy, also combines branding and getting that clear and laying out the path and mapping out your programs and getting the whole funnel in place? That's all in that umbrella of strategy and branding. So can you see how that strategy and that messaging, getting that clarity on communicating your message and what you stand for and how it's going to grab your audience and have the light bulb go off for them? Yeah, like, what is that unique differentiator? Oh my gosh, you're exactly what I'm looking for. So that messaging, strategy, messaging, and the compelling media, and we mean compelling media. When you have that supports you and done in that professional way, and in integrating the proper messaging and how you connect, and populating that out there on social media, as we talked about, and all the different ways that you can attract business, which is then the getting seen. When you have these 4 elements, can you see the huge difference it will make for you? Can you imagine how that would feel? Even just the confidence of knowing you've got your materials set up the way that you want. You know the path you're going to follow. You know the programs it's going to lead to. You feel proud about how you come across. I am thrilled with, you know, emails and things I get almost daily. I even got a phone call out of nowhere today, and what people share and what's opened up for them since working together. So one thing I want to just again honor is that you as an entrepreneur, or even if it's that you'd like to be, you want to now get something out there even though you're already in some job or other business. But you as an entrepreneur, it takes a special person, someone who's so driven by their message or process or passion that they're willing to put themselves out there. They're willing to take risks. They're willing to take action even when they're afraid. And you being on this training, that shows, you know, that you have commitment. That shows that you're here to learn. That shows you care about getting yourself out there. And it's so important, as we know as entrepreneurs, that sometimes if we're going to move forward, we have to put ourselves out there in ways that are uncomfortable, on things that we have not done before, on things that we have no idea how it's going to go. But we can't move forward unless we do. And I love about entrepreneurs that we're willing to do what it takes for our passion, that we're willing to do for what it takes for our heart, and to leap even when we're trembling. And boy, have I been there. And that just shows courage. That shows beauty of spirit. It shows commitment and decision. So are you committed? Are you determined? Are you willing to do what you have to do, even if you're scared, even if you're uncomfortable? So type yes in the chat box if that's you, and if so. All right? So awesome. That's so great. And I encourage you to take what's been shared here and things that we've illustrated here for you and do it. Do it. I know it can seem like a lot, but you can do it. And it means nothing if you don't take action. Like Rick said, it's in the action that the results happen. And can you see how doing all we mentioned here that can help you do that? So that if you do, of course, you'll now be making money doing what you love, making big impact, and generating the kind of abundance that you want. Making money doing what you love, making big impact, and generating the kind of abundance that you want. Can you see how that's the case here? And when you do, you can get results like these. And I'm going to take you to someone who's just such a dear heart and a dear, actually, again, now become a dear friend of ours. And really, it's like family, because I so dive into your world and am with you through this whole path as we map it all out and create it, that we end up becoming close. It's becoming family. It's so beautiful to see. So I have to tell this story because often people think, well, who am I? What do I know? And you just need to honor, what is that burning calling to you? Well, Joanna here did that. Joanna was a housewife, a mother of 2 babies under the age of 2. Her husband was a blue-collar worker and was the breadwinner. But she had gone through so many health issues in her 20s, and in her path to heal herself came across all these different processes and ended up creating her own unique healing process that was so simple but huge in how it was helping people and herself. She cured herself of things you can't even imagine. And so she came to us in order to be able to work with us, and we helped her as a VIP and just do her video product, get clarity on how she positioned her messaging, what her opt-in's going to be, what that clear path is. We mapped out her programs, of course coached her in studio because she was definitely had never done something like this before, and definitely very afraid of speaking. But she came to life as we worked with her, and then started owning her process once these materials were completed. Wow, to really get, yeah, I do belong here. This is of value. And she let us know, and we didn't even know. She kind of let us know about 4 months later that not only was she within 4 months being interviewed by a lot of the greats from Ariel Ford, Natalie Ledwell, and you name it, but also she was now at the point where she was getting to certify people in her process at $6,500 a pop. That's pretty darn fast. And she had told us at that time that she was on track to, by the end of the year, which is about a year or so after that, to then now be the breadwinner. And how great that would be, because then her husband could be with her with the children and she can work from home. I mean, this is why we do what we do, all of us, right? For the impact we can make. Now, I know this is too small, or imagine it's too small for you to see. Well, maybe you can see it here. But this is an actual email she sent us, talking about how she's just so to tears when she can see her dreams unfold, and how that's happening, and how the lives that she's getting to change with her process now, and the deep appreciation. So again, I share that with you to illustrate what is possible for you. And think about, wouldn't that be amazing if you could go from 0 to 60 in no time flat? Now, everybody's path is different, you know, and it also takes action, and it takes being willing to step out. I mean, she really had to stretch financially. She was coming from a blue-collar household, but she knew that investing in herself would pay off. And boy, did it in spades. And kudos to her for that courage. So, you see all these elements and what's possible for you when you bring them together in the way that we illustrated. Now, do it whatever way you can. You can do it yourself, and you saw that, or you can contract the Launch You Now Done For You service, and I can work with you, and then I can work with you, and we can create all that you see here. And it's really up to you. Now, if it's a fit for you, I welcome exploring you being one of the few I will work with. Now, as Rick said, I'm really busy and focused on the careers of my clients, including my own, and I am literally only taking a handful of VIP clients for the Launch You Now Done For You process. All right, but let me just talk you through what that entails, because if you're feeling like I want to explore this, then I invite you to, but to only explore this if this is resonating with you. Now, it's important to know why that you might want to look at, sorry, I'm pressing the wrong button here. That would explain it. So it's important to know why you would want to look at doing a Done For You service. And I'm not even going to, I'm going to just, oh, how do I go back? Let's see if I can go back here. There we go. I'm trying to show you a slide. So this kind of slide is a fun little representation of all the different elements you need for these 4 elements that we talked about. You know, involves, you know, getting the copywriter, getting a strategist, getting the coach, getting the editor, getting the graphic artist. I mean, the list goes on. I'm not even showing all of it up here or even talking through all of that with you. But as I lay out how we work with you, then you can get how this works. So we work with you, and we give you the strategy, that oh so important strategy we talk about. We dive into what is it. You could be a seedling of an idea, right? Or you could have it set, but you just know, you know what, game on, time to go to the next level. So we work with you and give you the strategy, and we echo back what we know, what we got to hear, and you know, there's people that will pay $10,000 upwards to $25,000 for a VIP day or a mastermind of where they'll get their strategy, you know, but then they still got to implement, right? So, you know, masterminds are great for connections as well, but, you know, you want to implement, you want to get this done so that you're ready and meeting opportunity. And then we also are giving you messaging and branding. You can spend thousands for a copywriter or someone to help you map all that out, and it's all over the map depending on how you contact copywriters, and it can be anywhere from $1,000 minimum up to $10,000 or more. I mean, sales letters alone go to sometimes for $10,000 to $20,000, and it all depends on the copywriter. But we're talking your main calling card video that represents you, and the mapping out of your other video collateral, and the mapping out of those programs so you can back that up, or the video series that you're going to sell, mapping all that out, right? So let's go low, and let's call it real low here and say if you just got someone just to help you with that alone, that'd be $5,000, okay? You know, you can do your own math there, right? But it's involved to get your programs mapped out and how you present them and what you'll cover and your various nuggets, right? Now, so we've got strategy, messaging, and branding and mapping out. Now, we got to get you all prepped up via the Skype sessions so that we can have our time. Wherever you are in the world, we work with you on Skype. We get however many sessions we need until that is all set up, ready to go. excited clients get once they see the path that gets laid out, or they finally get what they're about, or they get their brand of process, or all the different ways it comes. They get so excited, and we haven't even shot yet because then it's about implementing, right? So we make sure that on Skype we're meeting that way, get it all created for you and done for you as we talked about. Then you come to us in LA, and or if you're in somewhere else in the world and must or need to, we can then book a studio in your area that we vet out. But if you're to come to book a studio in Los Angeles, you're looking at a minimum of $1,500 if you're lucky for all day in the studio. And I mean for all day in the studio, because when we shoot, it is an immersive day, shooting photos, shooting all your different videos. And when you're looking at editing that in outsourcing, good luck vetting out folks who'll do a top-of-the-line job for you. There's plenty of editors, but who's going to do it at the level that you need and that knows what's going to work? And, there's so many videos to produce. It's easily another $1,500, $10,000 more just for those editing, right? Far more, but we'll go low with that because, I just want to play with this. And now you're getting exciting. Yay! We get to shoot it. Now we produce the footage in the way that we know works. Strategy, messaging, mapping out the videos, and mapping out your programs and the photos. And then we put it all together. We get it produced for you, and then we put it all together in the online media kit to best leverage. Now you want someone to figure that out for you. Get that site up there, right? Well, that could easily be $1,000, maybe less if you're lucky. If you want to look, great. But also the coaching with you in studio to make sure you shine. And that could be $1,000 just to get the coach. You wouldn't even be able to afford me to coach in studio, as my rate is $500 an hour. So, just think about all these different scattered costs. Plus, we make key connections for you, which is priceless. Now, when you price all those different, varied, scattered services together, and yes, you could even try to figure it out yourself, but often when you're inside the jar, you can't see the outside of the label. Even me or other people to help me because I can see it so well for you and for whomever I work with, but it's so hard for me to see for myself. So I hire others to help me. But, you can still, though, do your best. Just know that it's great to get feedback so that you can make sure someone can see outside of where you are and be able to reflect that back, especially someone who's an expert in that arena. So if you price all of this together, the marketing strategist, the coach, the copywriter, the producer, the editor, the photographer, the graphic designer, we're talking that could easily amount to $20,000 or more. I mean, can we agree that it's obviously going to be crazily high? And the issue is it's fragmented. It takes too long. You got this over here, that over there, and everyone's not necessarily working together. You get differing opinions, or you'll end up getting gaps because maybe it was great in all these other areas, but it fell short in this area. But, that's a problem, but that's okay. Let's just say you went ahead and outsourced and did all that. It'll take a lot longer because you're getting it done in different places, and let's call it 20 grand doing all that, right? But if you got yourself positioned with all this in the place to the point where your coaching program is filled up right away every time, wouldn't it be worth $20,000, right? If all that happened to you is that you ended up becoming the go-to expert in your area of expertise, wouldn't that be worth $20,000 for the lifetime of the now established positioning, the notoriety, the opportunity, the exposure, and the income it would mean to you, right? If all this did was give you a system to bring in hot, targeted leads in and day out to buy your products and services, would that be worth it? And if all this did was position you for high-end paid speaking bookings and big exposure media opportunities and appearances, wouldn't that be worth it? Not to mention how fulfilled you feel from making the impact you want to make. People telling you how you changed their life. Wouldn't that be awesome? So if all you got for your investment was even clarity alone, wouldn't that be worth it? Because clarity alone is priceless. It's your foundation. It launches you to click into place. That's why people spend $10,000 to $25,000 on a strategist or on a VIP one day or masterminds, just so they can get to that clarity. right? So if all you got was that, would that not be worth it, right? So the challenge is maybe you get your clarity and you have it, but then now what? And maybe you already have that clarity, but now what, right? And most spend so much time and wasted effort and leaked out money figuring it out. So here's the kind of excitement I want you to feel when the rubber hits the road and all this comes together. I want you to have this kind of joy and the kind of knowing of your path now, as what I'm about to share with you. A recent client, literally recent client, just sent me an email just yesterday, and she poured her heart out with gratitude and all that's possible to her. And in fact, while we were creating and mapping out all these things, and she was such a beautiful-hearted woman with such a mission and purpose. But, you know, she has been through the mill. She used to be this really young, hot, thin, attractive trainer, like the head trainer, a very well-known place. And then her mother and her father, her family had just severe health challenges. And then she herself had health challenges and even affected part of her brain. And next thing you know, she'd gained a lot of weight. She was debilitated from not being able to work. She had to fight the system. There's all sorts of things. So her mission was so at the core. But what she wanted to do was all over the place, and to bring it together and find how to find that through line and that clarity was like detective work. But we did, because I will not stop until we laser in and zero it in, and you are like, yay! And that's what happened with her. She got so excited. She was just every day going, oh my God, I have found my voice now, yes! And then we mapped out all the programs. We mapped out the videos that we'd shoot. We brought her into studio, shot her. She looked stunning. We shot it in the right way so she looked as thin and lovely as she could. And she went back and watched those videos, and she is now to the moon and writing every day. So just sharing you through part of it, she's going, I'm amazed, wow, I'm pinching myself, I cannot believe how smart this is. You made my voice come alive and engaging the audience. This provides such security. And she goes, oh my freaking gee, wowzers, I cannot believe, amazing. It truly means I'm so comfortable and so ecstatic with my messaging. Lynn, you're a tremendous writer, teacher, coach. It's like sensational. And she goes, I think a star is born if I don't say so myself, referring to herself. I'm never not this critical. I can't believe it. I'm so ecstatic. I feel like I'm so clear, on point, entertaining, sincere. I'm so blessed with your direction, and your smiles in the back make it so effortless. I own the words. The pics are even great. And you provided me with such a gift. I love you. Thank you so much. And another one where she talked about, you have no idea how shut down I was and couldn't show my face, that literally I was in hiding of myself and from what others thought. You are brilliant. I'm able to look at all these from a different perspective now. Love it. And it's not difficult for me to look at myself, which is such a blessing. This is truly transformation. You're a life changer. Love you. Like, those are just little elements from these different emails. So can you imagine that excitement? Don't you want to feel that excitement for what you're up to and what you have and what you're ready to do and what's showing up for you now? That's what I want for you. That's what I want for you. And this is why I do what I do. Because I want to be that wind beneath your wings, right? Ah-da-da. And help you be who you're meant to be, to help you be able to reach those you're meant to help and fully live your purpose. So if we can all agree that this is essential to get that big dream, make money doing what you love, make big impact, and generate the abundance that you want, then like we said, it comes down to the choices of take what we covered today and go out and do it yourself, or come and work with me. And that is up to you. So if this speaks for you and you feel that calling, then I'm not even going to charge you the $20,000 it could easily cost you if you found all those individual components. And we even know someone in our industry who charges for some of the other leaders more like 60 grand for doing all the various things I just mentioned to you. So it's even more. I'm giving you conservative numbers. But at playing at this level and bringing it all together, the cost for the VIP, everything that we mentioned, is $15,000. All of it. Me in studio with you, me working out your short-term and long-term strategy and flow of your funnel, mapping out your program, zeroing in on your branding, creating the video insights, the video Meet XYZ series, your video product, helping you map it all out, get your professional photos, your online media kit, all of that, so that we launch you to leading expert in your status, and you're off and running, and you're leveraged. And of course, at that amount, we have payments, so we can make sure you can get this done for you. So I'll make sure to do that for you too. And we discussed that on our preliminary call. And to help with that investment, because you've stayed on to the end of this training and I've already shown that you're serious here and you're on Rick's team of folks, if we're to work together, I will give you a $500 off coupon towards that. You just have to tell me that you were here on Rick's call, which we'll know through your application. And if you know this arena, you know that all I mentioned here that we do is insane to get in what I'm giving you here. I mean, just my time alone is worth that small amount when you compare it to all you're getting. But on top of my personal time, diving into your world, and with you every step of the way, you get all those videos and all the things we mentioned here. So you can make money doing what you love, make big impact, and generate the abundance that you want. All right? So my commitment to my clients is huge. And I put so much commitment to every client that I work with, they become like family. And I want to know the client is just as committed. So I want heart-centered entrepreneurs who are enthusiastic and passionate about their work and are difference makers. And I want to know you're someone I can help. So I only accept clients via application. And then, if you're accepted, we'll do a complimentary strategy session where we determine together to make the decision that it's a go, and if so, at that time, I process your payment. And you'll see the button on your screen right there. That's where it says apply here. But don't apply unless you know, yes, I want this. You might have some questions, and we're going to take questions coming up here any moment, so hang in there. And if for some reason that button's not showing on your screen or somehow you're not seeing it, you can get to access it if you go to hangout.launchyonow.com, hangout.launchyonow.com, and once there, click on strategy session, and then that can take you to where you would then fill that out. And it's recommended that if this is something calling to you, that you would do that now, because I'm only taking a handful. This is not a scarcity approach or tactic. It's true. I can only work with a few folks, VIPs at a time. So I give you my full focus. So it's recommended that you do this now so that you get priority of acceptance following the order in which we receive your application, as it shows that you're a real action taker and that you're serious. And you have to apply, okay? So now you may be Richard Branson. If so, awesome. Apply and let's get working. You may be a housewife like Joanna with a seedling of idea and feeling this burning calling inside you. If so, great. It doesn't matter. All sides of the scale. Apply and let's get working on drawing out your essence and your brand and completely accelerating this process. Because this cuts years off how long the path can normally take. Audra had been going for 5 years like a turbo wheel until finally the rubber met the road. Same with Carrie, same with Arson, and I know with you, if we get the opportunity to work together, finally done. And if you think about it, that may sound, for some, may sound like a lot of money, but think about all the different money you're leaking out. Oh, I'll spend $1,000 on this seminar over here, and then whatever travel costs. Oh, I'll spend $500 in this program. I'm going to spend $2,000 in this program. When you add it all up, it adds up. And then what have you implemented or created? So look at where do you want to, let's just get it done. Draw the line in the sand, and now is the time. So again, I do want to make the emphasis in applying in this strategy session. Only do this if you know you're ready to make the investment with me and in yourself. If you get all that I'm sharing with you today is all you need because you're tired of figuring it out yourself, falling short of running in circles, and you're wanting to accelerate the process as opposed to having been, since I made you want to get where you want to go finally, if you want to stop wasting the time and the money and frustration and finally get the success you want and reach those you want to impact. If you want to accelerate this path for yourself because you want it now, then get on to applying. If I accept your application, we set a time and we then get on the phone, and that's where we get to explore what it is that will work, for you. I can even offer a couple ideas right in that session, so we get started right away, and then we process your payment at that time. All right, so if that's you, leap into action and let's get working on you. Just got to act swiftly, though, okay? Because I am serious that I'm only taking a handful, and priority goes to those who take action first. So for those of you who are already moving forward on this and filling out the application, kudos! Yay! Leaping into action shows you mean business and is a sign of someone determined to succeed. And I'm going to talk to you for a minute. We're going to get to connect face-to-face, start to talk through the process and get you started right away and get your dream of yours happening, okay? And I want you to have all these elements in place. If you're on Rick Thompson's list, that means you are ready to go to the next level. But just don't apply unless you are feeling that calling. Take what I've shown here and please, please, please take it all on. Implement one way or another. It's time, okay? The importance is you've got to get all that sorted out. So if you're ready for that, I'm ready for you. So only if you feel that feeling in your gut, even if it's with butterflies, because that's what happens when we're stepping out. That's a good sign. And then I want you and would love to be your engine that launches you, okay? George Eliot said, "It's never too late to be who you might have been." And that's my dream for you. So that is the completion of our workshopping here and sharing you what you can do and illustrating for you how we work and what happens and how it all plays together. Rick, I imagine you're still online with us, and I want to accept some questions, and maybe we can peek in and see what questions we might have, and also let you know to reward you for your bonus because you stayed on to the end, because this is a bonus you're going to want. Let me just get this up for you. I'm calling it up so I can show it to you. 1 second here. Beep, beep, beep. There it is. I'm going to give you, our copywriter is a Madison Avenue copywriter. She did the campaigns for Wait Till We Get Our Hands on You and all sorts of big ads that you know. And then also now has been the secret sauce for a lot of top internet marketers in writing their copy. And she's who, once we get all the clarity and the strategy and what that unique differentiator is and all those things sussed out and the branding process, then I have her write that main calling card video script, and I kind of map out for her, here's the track we want. And then she just sweetens that up to where it just takes it and runs. But one of her other gifts is she's brilliant at all what you need to say in your autoresponders to follow up with, what you need on your sales letter, all the places where you need effective copywriting. So as your bonus, I'm going to give you Lisa Rothstein's 5-step formula for effortlessly effective copywriting. It's a $297 value. She's part of our team, and she said I could give that to you. Also a module from one of our 4-module video training that we have only for our clients, but I'm going to give you that second module, and Lisa's in that one too. And in that second one, we walk through the autoresponder series and what you need to do to really make that compelling. So everyone on this training here is getting that for staying to the end, and kudos to you. You're also, if you apply and want to work with me, are getting a $500 off coupon. So that brings down the 15 grand down to 14.5, and you can apply that once we are on that strategy session. Just going to make sure that you apply for that. So how was that for you? Oh, I hope you got some light bulbs that went off. I'd love to hear if there were some that came up for you or some things that you saw, and certainly welcome to questions. So I'm not seeing questions. I don't know, Rick, if you want to see any questions that would be relevant that we should perhaps highlight or show. I wish we could bring people on and hear their voices, but we can at least tune in. Is there a place where I can see?
So if you've got a question, again, and toss it in there now. Obviously,
okay,
we've got her here. You can pick her brain. So now is the time. And just real quick, while people are probably typing things in here, wow, what a session tonight! This has been amazing. I've got
a marathon.
Far more than expected.
Yeah, exactly.
And of course, like you said, just the package in general is amazing because what you guys do for the price that you do it at is crazy good, crazy good.
Yeah,
So.
I know. Yeah, I'm getting to the point where I'm about to really bump it. For now I'm keeping that here, especially for your peeps. So that's cool.
Well, you do have one question here from Sue Marie asking about if you do the a la carte stuff or only the package. I think there's probably a number of things you can kind of respond on that one actually.
Oh yeah. Well, because it also plays together. I do coach. I coach for $500 an hour, so you can book me for that if that's something you wanted. That is allowed. You can reach out to me. I don't have a place to sign up for that. It really has been only word of mouth for like the high-end leaders we talked about and certain people that know that I do that. So I will say yes, I have that available. But it's such a process and how it all plays that I've found it's best to keep it in that package kind of deal. And even people that think they already have some of these elements in place, when we talk on the phone, like if someone's asking that, go ahead and click on a strategy session and let's talk through what could that be, and let's look at that. I'm certainly open. In what way can I best support you? And I will look at how can I be able to be of support for you. One of the things that we do offer, I tend to want to only focus on VIP because of the amazing value that gives for everyone's brand and business that point forward. But we also do what I call the foundational Launch You Now, which is all focused around creating just that calling card video that you leverage, that zeroes in on your messaging and what you're about, and knowing where you're leading them on the opt-in. And that is $7,500. But as we said, would be the $500 off coupon. And you have to remember, this is not like a video. This is that whole process that will then create what you need. So we do also make that available. And if that's of interest to you, definitely apply and communicate in there. There's places for you to write in there your vision. There's places for you so I can already start the process of dialing into what you're about. And you can mention some of this. You want to look at maybe potentially doing that because that's where you stand. We do take payments, so we can work that out so that we can make it something that you'd be able to do. Because there's people that I so want to work with, and I know that we've got to maybe just do some payments so that way they can make that happen. So definitely open to that. Okay.
Well, that's a great question overall because that just really illustrates that, for folks out there who realize that hey, my business is unique. Can they help me? What about this? What about that? The answer is go apply and start that conversation. Maybe it works out, maybe it doesn't, but the only way you're going to know is to fill out that application and open that door and start that conversation. So, no offense, but you can't pick up the phone and call Lynn like a few of us can. You've got to use the application. So, jump on that opportunity. Lynn is not out there everywhere. This is a very rare event for her. So if you're even mildly thinking that this could work for you, start the application, get that conversation going, and you'll be very, very glad you did because, wow, the work that Lynn and her team does is world class. There's no other word for it.
Thank you. Thank you.
Someone's asking real quick, Lynn, is this program one-on-one or group? I'm assuming this is a one-on-one, high-intensity thing, right?
Yes, absolutely one-on-one. Absolutely one-on-one. I one time tried doing it via group, and then I realized because I over-deliver, I was spending just as much time doing one-on-one, and I said, I'm just keeping it one-on-one. Because to really, truly dive into this process, even if you already have your strategy and your messaging, we get to all the more, lay that out. And I saw Sue Marie, I think she was the one you said who had asked that question. Getting this mapped out and getting that created, that's a big part of the process you to please apply and for a strategy session, and then let's talk with how we could work together in your unique situation. And like you said, Rick, you're right. Like someone's like, well, I'm an entertainment lawyer, or I'm a real estate investor, or a venture capitalist, or I'm just a housewife with this idea. You know, all these different people that I've actually worked with in these processes. It's all over the map because it centralizes on communicating what service or product or business that you're offering and makes that connection. And it works on so many levels, from the social media coming in because you've been strategic in how you put yourself out there, to how people, now they experience you, now they're ready to move forward with you through your media you've created. Yeah.
Awesome. And thanks for that question, Jay. I appreciate it. And he's got a follow-up question for more of a custom program. Do you still have to fill out the same form? Yes. Fill out the application.
Yes. Yes, the application is what will open up us having a complimentary strategy session. So this is why I don't just send you to some link and have you fill out some link. It's about, let us connect. Let us talk through what you have, what I see. Let's dive in, and then you can see how it can come together. I can see how it come together, and we make that decision, and we, process your payment then and start diving in right away. So just fill out that application. It's actually a great process to go through that application, because as you do, you start kind of reflecting. And it has you see things you might not have seen because you haven't taken the time to think about some of the things that got asked there, or how you put that forward. So and it also just helps us hit the ground running when it's time for the strategy session. So it serves in multiple purposes. So I definitely invite you, if you're thinking, yeah, I really want to explore this, absolutely apply. And I said don't apply if you're not interested. I didn't mean if you want to explore, don't apply. No, absolutely apply, but you have to be serious that this is what I want. I just want to make sure this is the fit, or this will work with what I've got, and how will that come together. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it makes perfect sense. And he's got another follow-up question here. Is there a deadline to fill out the form? That's a great question.
Oh, that is a great. No, there is no deadline. Thank you for asking. No deadline to fill out the form. You can fill that out anywhere. It's just that I'm limited to how many people I can work with. I keep it really small, the amount of people I work with, so that I can give my full focus, especially because I'm busy out there doing it too, right? So it's just, if you need to wait till another time that you want to apply, that's fine. I just don't know at that point. It may have jumped, Lord knows to what amount, because I'm on that edge right now of really super duper raising how much I'm going to be offering this for, and or that there'd be availability. So I think what's best is apply now. Or we could apply tomorrow. I don't mean like you have to apply right now. If you want to, enjoy, go to sleep now because it's late in the East Coast, and then fill it out tomorrow. But definitely fill it out and let us get that process on our call, even though you might not want to start to the new year or start 3 months down the road. That's fine, but we can get that clarity and get in motion. Because one thing I know is that when you draw that line in the sand and that's sitting there in your future, it does something to your now, right now. You start feeling that excitement. That's going to be happening. It gets you in action. It also doesn't let you now just kind of start fading away from that possibility, like everything else, if you don't take that action. So I would say apply now or as soon as you're able, and then we can have the strategy session when that works for you. If the strategy session needs to happen 2 weeks from now, that's fine. But get yourself in that queue with the strategy session. And also, when we do work together, this is important to know too. I will follow what track will work best for you. I've had someone who had to get it done fast, and it was Herculean, because she was VIP and so much we had to map out, and I can't believe how much we mapped out. I don't want to encourage this for people, but I was able to do this for her, and at the time I was able to because of the timing, but in a week. And then she shot her stuff, and then we got her video collateral done for her. So I can move forward as fast as you want, or following a more organic, slower process. There's some people who they want to just spread it out a little bit and now work on something a little bit more, come back and we work on it together. Now we've got it mapped out. Or they sign up, they knew, yes, let's go, and then they realize, oh, I just want to wait just a little bit longer, no problem, and that's fine. So I'll follow your track, and because this is 101, and it's based on you.
Awesome. Just being transparent, Lynn, if I had any serious questions, quite frankly, I would just go straight to the application, and I would just fill it just to get you on the phone. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's what I would do. So, great that you're here for the questions. Guys, as you're listening, if you've got some questions, grab her now. But just being transparent, you can't pass the opportunity to get Lynn on the phone. So if you've got some serious questions, go fill out the application and get your questions answered one-on-one in private right there with her personally. So, and I'm seeing some great comments come in, and thank you all for the great comments. And Lynn, you can see this for yourself, I'm sure, but. I'm not seeing any more questions come in, so maybe we should do a quick last call. And if you do want to get on the ask her right now, now is the time. Do not hold back. Although maybe they're all over at the application rushing through that right now. So.
Yeah, no, that's great. I love that. I'll just share that I want to thank you so much, Rick. I mean, what you do with Done For You Solutions is huge. And I get the value of that done for you service because I was too much a solopreneur trying to do even the little stuff that was making my head hurt and trying to figure it out and letting things slip through the cracks, and to now have this team of support that I just love. And with what we do with Launch You Now, when people just get in this solopreneur mindset and they don't realize that you're taking so much longer than when you just step up, get it done, work with the experts, get it done at the top of the line, and all the money that you've been leaving on the table and the growth that's been left on the table because it hasn't been ready and there to go. And when you can have it there, what explodes it open for you, and to also get rid of those headaches because I've been there. So I just so relate with what you're doing and so appreciate your service. And so thank you for letting me connect with your audience and be able to share this because, as you know, it's something I'm passionate about and really believe in.
Oh, thanks for that. And I appreciate all your time here tonight. It blows me away what you guys can do and what you do for your clients. And what you taught tonight was amazing with the 4 elements and the questions there and the messaging, and I've got sticky notes all over the place that I've been taking notes from on the call. So bless you. Thank you for taking time out. It really was a real interesting scheduling you with how busy you are. So gang, again,
yes.
Take advantage of her. We've got her here. You've got an opportunity to get the application put in there and to get her on the phone. So now is the time because she could literally be halfway around the world tomorrow. So
I do get on a plane tomorrow.
There you go. See? Wow, just wow, and thanks so much, Lynn.
Thank you so much. Much love, everyone.
Good night, everybody.